Hello everybody watching this video. I'm Tigabo Marcos from Ethiopia. Now I'm disseminating the latest informations based on the national, that is based on the Ethiopian internal matters and based on the eastern parts of Africa plus other international issues on this YouTube channel. In addition to the latest political analysis, I gave you I supply the latest information is concerned with entertainment and other related affairs. Now my today's analysis or the information is based on the eastern parts of Africa. The eastern parts of Africa is just under the great danger in case of some issues that has been occurred since Ethiopia has signed the agreement of the or memorandum of agreement with Somalia in order to get the portal service, and just in case of this some enemies that were supposed before this, the Ethiopian enemies, now they are just surrounded Ethiopia. And now let me give you the controversial issues that has been occurred Ethiopia, Egypt and Somalia. Now starting from the Egypt, it is well known that Egypt has still opposing the construction of the Great Renaissance Dam, which is based on the Abai River. Abai river flows from Ethiopia to the Mediterranean Sea. Then the Mediterranean up to Mediterranean Sea, it crosses about 11 countries, especially Sudan and Egypt. Now the Sudan and Egypt were the main beneficiaries of the Nile River, which is called the Nile River. South Sudan, the capital city of Sudan, Khartoum. Now it is about 80% of the water is supplied from the Abai River, which is flowing from the Ethiopian highlands, specifically named the Amara region, Lake Tana. Now the Egypt even Egypt has opposed strongly the construction of dam. Ethiopian government has just achieved or expressly said that or reported that only the finishing matters were remained, and other remaining construction process has been completed. Then since Egypt has heard this report from the Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy and the Foreign Minister Ambassador Taye Assequa has reported on the national television, Egypt just started the new movement on the Horn of Africa. The new movement is just with creating collaboration with or cooperation with Somalia. Somalia is known that is still opposing the memorandum association signed between Ethiopia and Somaliland, because of Somalia says that Somalia is a part of my country. Now Ethiopia has just violated my national sovereignty, and just in case of this, Somalia has appealed from the IGAD to the United Nations Security Council, and even go to International Court of Justice out to Egypt and the Arab League, and then the traveling of America. Then all of them have just referred to the IGAD and they just put the solution for the conflict by agreement. But Somalian government has rejected all the options or the peace options that were offered and referred by the other countries or third parties, and now in case of this Somalia, the government of Somalia is not satisfactory by the decision of Ethiopia. Now Egypt has used this opportunity and now come to invade Ethiopia through Somalia. Now the most of Somalia people, those people has not agreed, especially about from 6 regional states. 5 of them were rejected the Somalian government decision by inviting the Egyptian forces into the Mogadishu, but they said as to their suggestion, we never allow the Egyptian military to be entered into our regional state. Now the government of Somalia has to know this before deciding in order to occupy replace the other African soldiers that are found in Somalia. Now about 10,000 of the peacekeeping soldiers are now keeping the peace of Somalia. The Ethiopian soldiers are just take the large number from other security members. Now the government of Somalia just still saying they just chase out the Ethiopian soldiers and replace other 10,000 Egyptian soldiers. In case of this, Ethiopian government has opposed the occupation or the coming of the Egyptian soldiers into the Somalia, and if they act in wrong way, then Ethiopian government is ready to get any immediate measure on this. Now in case of this, the Egyptian and Egypt, Somalia and Ethiopia has been under disagreement, and the ongoing controversy has been still continuing, and we will see what will happen after a few days later, or after a few weeks, or it may be a few years later. We will see then all Ethiopians are just ready to fight Egypt if there is any wrong movement or special movement in order to invade Ethiopia, except that they keeping the peace of the Somalia. Is it Egypt came to keep the peace of Somalia? It is just we will see each and everything through a time. The other one is the offering or the supply of port from Djibouti. Djibouti, it is known that Djibouti just the source of electricity, source of the other pure clean water, and other things are or charts and the other things are from Ethiopia. Now Ethiopia exports those things and other materials into Egypt. Now but no, Djibouti is still just surrounding and suspending around the Egypt and Somalia. And Djibouti in some part doesn't satisfactory by the agreement or the memorandum association between Ethiopia and Somaliland, because of it hurts the income or revenue of the Djibouti. Djibouti just takes about $1 billion from Ethiopia. Now the annual income may decrease if Ethiopia turns her face into the Somaliland. Then by fearing this, Djibouti just offered or supplied the port to Ethiopia. Even Ethiopia hasn't given any response for the supply of port, because of Ethiopia has suspected that there are other third parties behind this decision, so that Ethiopia goes into until the memorandum association between the Somaliland will be performed. Now the Ethiopian scholars and other YouTubers and analyzers are suggesting that the supply of port from Djibouti is not to Ethiopia solve the solution for or exact solution for Ethiopian port problem, but It is in order to refrain from or restrain from the agreement between Somaliland, because of if Ethiopia gives the statehood recognition for Somaliland, then Ethiopia turns her face in totally or partially into Somaliland, so that by feeling that the Djibouti has supplied the port and that port is not accepted by most Ethiopians. And the other one is what is the response of the Westerns concerning on what is happening in the Horn of Africa. The Westerns advised to the Egyptian Prime Minister or Egyptian President, to Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, and the Somalian government, or that is Sheikh Mohammed, in order to calm down their movement and just create the peace, or just go to the peace. And doesn't just they advise that in order they have to refrain from doing the wrong decision on the in the Horn of Africa. Not as the Western countries, they are suspected that Egypt's military settlement and Mogadishu is not to prevent Somalian interest, but for the purpose of invading Ethiopia. If they invade Ethiopia, they know what will happen, and in the region, and the regional crisis will be decreased. But still the controversial or the tension between Egypt, Somalia and Ethiopia has been continued, and then the background players, or that such as Eritrea and Djibouti's matter is just still under consideration, and thus attacking Ethiopia. And if there is any movement, then Ethiopian people and the government is ready to give the immediate response for their wrongdoing. Thanks for watching this video. If you are new for this YouTube channel, you can subscribe and become member. Thank you. God bless Ethiopia. God bless Africa. God bless the whole part of the world. Let us use the natural resources fairly.